Imagine waking up out of a dead sleep having to pee extremely bad. Then you get to the bathroom and instead of everything being normal, you're peeing razor blades. Then you look down and there's cloudy discharge involved too. This nightmare is a reality for some people who have contracted a sexually transmitted disease. Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Jessica Constant, and I'm here today to talk to you about common STDs, the signs and symptoms involved, and some proper protective measures you can take. I'm guessing that if anyone is like me, before I joined the public health career field, they're not exactly up to date with their STD knowledge. So the best way to start when hashing through information like this is the beginning. I'll start by giving you some information about common STDs. HPV is actually so common that it's called the common cold of STDs. It's expected that if you're a sexually active adult, you've already contracted one of the over 100 different strands. By age 50, it's expected that 80% of women have contracted HPV. That equates to 5.5 million new cases every year. When it comes to herpes, 1 in 4 people has contracted the disease. That's over 1 million new cases every year. With chlamydia, in 2010, there was over 1 million new cases, which is the most the CDC has ever reported for any disease in 1 year. Any disease, not just STDs. Now that I've shown you some of the common STDs and just how common they are, I'm going to give you some good information on how you can identify an STD when faced. HPV's signs and symptoms don't occur in every person, but in the cases where they are contracted, it can be very bad. The CDC notes that HPV can cause genital warts. These can come in single bumps or clustered bumps, which kind of resemble cauliflower. The CDC also notes that HPV has the ability to take normal cells and turn them into abnormal cells, which over time can turn into cancer. When it comes to herpes, it usually has minimal to no signs or symptoms in most cases, but there is one telltale sign to show that you do have it. During the initial outbreak, which it normally occurs like 2 weeks after the infection, there's typically 1 or more blisters in a grape-like cluster near the genitals or the anus. These blisters will start to pop and turn into very, very tender sores. Usually with these blisters, you don't just get the blisters, you also get flu-like symptoms that include swollen glands and fever. Chlamydia, on the other hand, is actually known as the silent disease because it's rare that somebody actually has symptoms. Women who do experience signs or symptoms will have cloudy discharge or coming from the vagina or burning with urination. If the infection, however, moves from the cervix to the fallopian tubes, there could be very bad things like abdominal pain, bleeding between periods, and also pain with intercourse. Men, if they experience signs or symptoms, it's going to be discharge from the penis or burning and irritation around the opening of the penis. Now that I made you kind of paranoid about any itch that happens in your lower region, let me talk about how you can avoid all the heartache that is involved with infection. There isn't a cure for every disease, so the best method of protection is abstinence. I know that's not ideal for most. So, for those of you who don't think that that's going to work out for you, let me fill you in on a couple other methods that you can use. Condoms are the safer method of protection, abstinence being the safest. So, aside from condoms, there's a vaccination for HPV called Gardasil. This helps combat infection and spread. So, the downside is, though, it's only recommended for people aged 9 to 26. If you're in that age range, I highly recommend that you get it. If you're not, then it's too late, sorry. Otherwise, it's only a 3-shot series, and it only takes 6 months. So you really can't go wrong with it. Herpes, on the other hand, no vaccination, and once you're infected, there's no cure. Herpes is a friend for life. The safest method is safe sex with condoms. Chlamydia doesn't have a vaccination, but there is a cure, so yay for that. But the best way to not get chlamydia, safe sex with condoms or no sex. On a side note, please remember that birth control methods do not prevent STDs. They prevent pregnancy, not STDs. I know there's sometimes confusion about that. Let me just settle that now. I didn't want to talk about this subject to freak everyone out or spout off about not having sex. I'm a firm believer that knowledge is power, and with that power you can protect yourself and the ones you care about. So, if anything, as you go back out into the world from this webcast, please remember the 3 common STDs, HPV, herpes, chlamydia, the signs and symptoms, burning, irritation, cloudy discharge, and also the different methods of protection. No sex, safe sex, and in HPV's case, Gerardocil. Remember these things both for yourself and for others. Take any chance you get to educate others on what you know now. Together, we can break the chain of infection. Thank you.